Hey everybody, I'm Steve.
I'm Nina.
Happy New Year!
Year!
If you read the title of this video, you will know that in the last week, 2 weeks, Nina and I both came down with COVID-19. Yes, that was our reaction. We're like, oh, positive. Be positive. So, we want to tell you about it, our first-hand experience, and we make a video about everything. So, we want to give you the truth, tell you about things you might need to know, and if you should find yourself with COVID in the next week or two, because Omicron is surging, then maybe this will be some help. So,
hopefully you never get it.
Yes, may you dodge the Omicron bullets. That sounds like a superhero name. The Omicron bullets speeding through tubes in the future. Let's talk about it. So we had like a weird fake out thing in the second week of December, maybe, where I had a little bit of a head cold, and the holidays were coming up, so I thought I better get tested. I went and got a PCR test done, which is kind of like a longer term test, takes a few days to compute, and then it's very accurate, and it came back negative. So we thought, that's nothing. And then Nina started getting a cold, and I was like, she just has the thing that I had. But it was actually COVID-19.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like the symptoms are so alike the cold, so I just thought it's like just regular cold. Because I had like a sore throat, like really sore throat, and the congestions and like coughing, but it's not like all the time. Then
it's like a cough that you need to clear your throat, but not like a cough from the chest, Yeah. So we think this might have been Omicron because they say that the original recipe and the Delta variant are, they tend to reside in the lungs and be more lower respiratory system, just like that.
Just like that.
That was a little but then Omicron should be like an upper one, so throat, sinuses, that kind of thing. I also had some fatigue when I got it, and also some little bit of chills and some sweats, definitely.
Sweats.
I
had sweats.
Yeah, we really sweat a lot. And we were trying to also, sort it out a little bit if we could, to kind of get it moving or do something. We also, that was basically our symptoms. Yeah, and this might be because we came into this with 2 doses of Moderna, the vaccine. That was earlier in the year. We also had a Pfizer booster.
Yeah, that was like late October.
Yeah, that we got the booster. So it might have been that, we avoided a more serious illness because we had those vaccines going for us. So,
people, please get vaccinated for your own safety and for your family.
Yeah, if you haven't gotten vaccinated yet, we recommend it. Would it have gone worse if we hadn't been vaccinated? I don't want to think about necessarily. No. But we're just trying to do all the things we have to do to get through this, and we're here to tell you about it. So something worked, and that's how we like it.
So when I got a cold, I wanted to get tested, and it was a PCR test. So the PCR test, basically, it's a test like the sample need to be sent away to a lab, and it may take like 2 to 5 days to get the result back. Depends on the. It
depends if the lab's already backed up or not. Yep.
Yeah, and you do need to make an appointment for that. Normally, there will be like in the pharmacies.
Like a Rite Aid or a Walgreens.
CVS. So it's like a drive-through.
Now you can also get PCR tests done at doctor's offices. I know right now, especially in our area, if you want to schedule a PCR test, it's kind of hard to find one actually. So if you go to online to the Rite Aid scheduler, you might look out maybe a week or so before you see anything.
That's about right.
So that's tricky because you have to wait a week to get tested, and then you may need to take 2 to 5 days to get the results back. The other kind of test is an antigen test. The antigen tests are the rapid tests, the ones that take 15 minutes to get a result. You can do these at a doctor's office. You can also get these done in a home test kit. That's very convenient, but the one downside to the antigen tests is that you need to have a high viral load for them to give you a true result. In other words, if you were just getting sick, just in the very, very beginnings, and you don't have a lot of COVID virus yet, because they make more virus in your nasal passages. That's what it does. The antigen test might not pick it up. It might give you a false negative. But if you wait a little bit longer, you may be able to test it and get tested positive. So the trick with this is, on one hand, you have the PCR test where there's a very long delay.
But it's accurate.
But it's very accurate. On the antigen side, you might, you shouldn't use it immediately as soon as you start feeling sick. You might want to wait a few days for the symptoms to progress before you try using that one. You need some general guidance. We are not medical professionals, and you probably should talk to an actual doctor instead of just looking at our YouTube video as the only source of information. But yeah, you might need to have some common sense approaches to dealing with what may be a COVID infection while you're waiting on either of those things, either a PCR test to come back or an antigen test to arrive at your house. Yeah. So what are those common sense guidelines? So we were able to get a hold of a telehealth appointment for both of us and talk to a medical doctor about our symptoms and what we should do while we were waiting for our test to come back and while we were waiting for things to get better. And what did they have us?
Doctor recommend to take lots of fluids and vitamin C, D, and zinc.
That's right. We also are taking some over-the-counter medication like Dayquil, NyQuil, that kind of stuff, just to kind of manage the symptoms. We also took some Mucinex to help break up the mucus. If you're congested in general, a long hot shower can do a world of good. Also, nasal saline spray. Plenty of soup. We had, I think, soup
every day almost.
Yeah, just about. And
they did say do watch your temperature if you're getting
a high fever or if you had difficulty breathing. That's a sign that your condition might be more serious and you should seek more medical attention directly. Again, we're just telling you kind of what our experience is, what we remember too, because you are kind of fuzzy the whole time when you're going through this. Yeah, I think also a little difficulty sleeping too came along with that COVID.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, you just want to take it as easy on yourself as you can. Get plenty of fluids, get those vitamins in you. But the most important thing that you can do to prepare for a potential COVID encounter is to get vaccinated.
Yes.
So yeah, if you haven't gotten a chance to do that yet, please don't hesitate. The vaccine in almost all studies has shown a greater likelihood of preventing a serious illness, and we very much attribute our relatively mild case of COVID to being vaccinated and boosted and prepared. So that's the best thing you can do. So how do you know when your COVID infection is over?
That's a good question.
Yeah, we're still not totally sure on that one because we still have some symptoms, right?
As you can see, I'm still coughing.
Just pour that side of the couch covered in germs.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think for me, I had really serious symptoms for about 4 days where I just felt like total trash.
For me, it's maybe 5 to 6 days.
Now we're kind of in this long tail where
it's it's over 2 weeks for me now, but I'm still coughing off and on.
Yeah, and I'm kind of in a similar boat. My condition kind of improved very quickly after those first few days. But I also took an antigen test yesterday just to see what it would say, and it came back that I'm still positive. So I guess what they say in the CDC is after your symptoms end. So I guess after all this congestion is done.
Or coughing.
Sometimes if you have a cough for 2 weeks, your throat's still irritated.
Okay.
And so you're coughing because your throat is raw as opposed to because there's actually germs there.
Okay.
It's tricky, right? So what they say in the CDC right now is after you think your symptoms have ended, you should wear a mask aggressively, wherever you go for 5 days, and afterwards you may be fit to join society. Although, depending on when you watch this video, that guideline may have changed. But yeah, you should always take a look at the website to see what the guidance is, or talk to your own doctor, because we're just telling you what our position is, and we're still kind of in the middle of it. Hopefully we'll be out.
Yeah.
This is for the camera.
No! You silly.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll be out of it soon, and we'll be out there in the world adventuring, and you can check that out too when that time comes. The other thing you can do if you get COVID and you want to recover more quickly is to click the like button and be sure to subscribe. That's terrible. Why would you suggest we do that?
You did that! Stop paying this to me, always.
All right, folks. That's all we have for you. Hopefully we'll be out there in the wild world exploring again real soon. Hopefully the rest of us will all get through this Omicron COVID thing quickly.
Yeah.
And travel will be kicking again, and we will report to you from an exotic location in the future. In the meantime, please like and subscribe.
And stay healthy.
Most importantly, yeah, stay healthy out there.
Yes.
And we'll see you
next week.
Bye.